Jason is here.
Hey everybody, how's it going today? How's everybody's morning going? Everybody cool? Everybody eat their Wheaties, drink their orange juice. If you're listening to this at a different time, up it. What you have? Would you have tuna melt for lunch? What are you having for dinner? You having tacos? What's it gonna be? Anyways, Bun Sauce says I'm 1 minute late. Could be pregnant. Could be that late, but I'm not. So whatever, Bun Sauce. Anyways, today we got a story from BestmanBulletin.com. I don't know if there'll be anybody else on the show with me today. Rob's, I don't know, I think he said he was like hunting dogs or something. He might have said hunting dogs, or he might have said he was taking his dogs to the pound because he doesn't want to be a dog. No, he was taking his dog to the vet. That's what it was. It was the least horrible thing. Yeah, but today we have a story from BestmanBulletin.com that broke last night, and it's the full list of the Acolyte writers, and it's definitely interesting. I think the I don't know, what do you want to call them, the chuddy guys are going to be mad about this. Well, you know what, Tom? Tom, you could still be my side piece today. I mean, if you want to. I don't know if you're free. If you're free, I'll send you the link, because I mean, the show is literally brought. Wait, is it not? Oh, it's not up there because of the thing. I was recording something else earlier. I didn't put up any of the theme stuff, so sorry, Tom. But this show is brought to you by Tom's computer, in case people don't know that. But how does the internet work, you guys? Sometimes I don't know. Sometimes I don't know how the world works. So I'm gonna invite Tom. I invited Bespin too. He's not even responding. He's just like, I don't want to hear from you. I wrote an article today. I don't want to hear what you have to say about the world. So where'd you go, Tom? I should make Tom just like text me, because that's the way I don't have to find Tom's text. I get too many text messages. Where's Tom? All right, there we go. Found Tom. All right, there we go. Anyways, so we got this article from BestmanBulletin.com. Sorry to make everybody wait, but Tom's late, so what do you want? You know what I mean? It's all Tom's fault. So this is the article from BestmanBulletin.com. If you like reading Bestman Bulletin, you can support him on Patreon or send him a coffee. Same thing with this show. You can support me on Patreon. You can't send me a coffee. I don't have that set up. But you can become a channel member, which is maybe the best way after Patreon. And then you could also support us on Spotify. So if you want to be a Spotify channel member, you can do that too. And Spotify doesn't actually pay that bad, to be honest with you, for the show. Excuse me. So before we continue, he'd like to share that you can support his work on Patreon. So we already did that. Okay, episode was written solely. Okay, so wait, did he? Yeah, he kind of just jump right into it. Okay, episode 1 was written solely by the series creator Leslie Headland, who is likely best known for writing and co-creating the Netflix series Russian Doll, which is her most recognizable and acclaimed work. In addition to Doll, Headland's past writing credits include the films Sleeping with Other People, starring Jason Sudeikis, also who may have been attached to writing a Star Wars thing at some point. Who knows how far if it got anywhere. And Allison Brie, My Ex-Girlfriend. About Last Night, starring Kevin Hart, and Bachelorette, starring Kirsten Dunst, also an ex-girlfriend of mine. We just couldn't make it work. Episode 2 of The Acolyte has been penned by Jason McAuliffe and Charmaine DeGratte. I think that's how you might say that. I don't know. Maybe it's like DeGratte. Maybe I made it way fancier than it is. McAuliffe doesn't have many writing credits to his name, having only 3 released projects since 2011. Now, really quickly here, though, when these people are coming up, probably, sometimes getting their master's degrees, I don't know what this writer has, but this is just me talking in general. In the creative writing process, a lot of really good work is done before anything's produced. And even when they get to Hollywood, they might have sold 8 scripts, but good scripts don't get made all the time. So just because something makes it to screen doesn't actually mean that they have a pedigree necessarily. It can, or it does if it's good or it's bad, but there's good writers who just haven't had anything produced yet. And, this may be the start of a huge career. Who knows? I know Star Wars fans, they just, a lot of the times we go by what's the last thing that we heard? What's the last thing we know of? And this is not really necessarily, the way to look at this. So having only 3 release projects since 2011, which began with the feature film Butter, starring Jennifer Garner and Hugh Jackman. In addition, McAuliffe also penned the short film Marcel, not to be confused with Marcel the Shell, which now people will do because they'll be like, you said it was Marcel the Shell, Bestman, you're wrong. Don't do that to him on Twitter, you guys. Don't go to Twitter and tell him he's wrong about that. Don't do it. Wink, wink. And most recently, Heathers, which was a great film, a Paramount series that he created, which ran for 1 season in 20. Oh, okay, so it's not. Was that a Heathers TV show, or is it just called that? Anyways, McAuliffe, however, is paired with a lot of more experienced writer, Charmaine DeGrate. DeGrate's most recent penned 10 episodes of the hit Amazon Prime video series Daisy Jones and the Six, and also worked as a writer on 10 episodes of the hit HBO series and Game of Thrones spinoff House of the Dragon. In addition to House of the Dragon and Daisy Jones, DeGrate also wrote 44 episodes of CW's The 100. So, episode 3 of... And here's the thing about this gig is Leslie Headland may have storied the whole thing. So these writers may just be taking direction for what Leslie Headland's outlines are too. I don't know what their process is yet. We're just kind of figuring this out. So episode 3 of The Acolyte seems to be a writing team up between Jasmine Flournoy. Man, the last names on this one are a doozy. And Eileen Shim. No one, everyone's name is difficult for my dumb brain. Flournoy most recently worked on Disney and the Marvels' The Falcon and the Winter Soldier as a writing assistant, and worked as a writer's personal assistant on the Apple Plus TV series Truth Be Told. Amazon Prime's Video's Ron Perlman-led series Hand of God and Heathers, which was created by the Acolyte Episode 2 writer Jason McAuliffe. Eileen Shim, the second credited writer of the episode, and this is a run-out sentence, Bestman, is likely best known for penning an episode of House of the Dragon, specifically the one most critically acclaimed episodes, Lord of the Tides. In addition to Dragon, Shin has worked on the Netflix animated series Met Cadets and the Hulu series Light as a Feather. I'm guessing it's a magic show. Episode 4 is written by Claire Kaicheff, who also boasts 2 writing credits, 9 episodes of HBO's critically acclaimed series Watchmen, and a single episode of the Netflix series The OA. Kaicheff is joined for writing duties by Cor Adana, who previously worked on 2 episodes of the critically acclaimed Mr. Robot series, and a single episode of the Netflix series The Imperfects. Episode 5 of The Acolyte has been written by the aforementioned Cor Adana, along with Cameron Squires. Squires most recently worked on the Netflix animated series Agent Elvis, which featured Matthew McConaughey as the voice of Elvis Presley. I gotta tell you guys something. I'm looking forward to that new movie Priscilla. I want to see it. I think Elvis fucking sucks. Like, my hot take on Elvis is, if it wasn't Elvis, it would have been somebody else. However, if it wasn't John Lennon, if it wasn't Paul McCartney, the Beatles don't happen. Elvis was just a manufactured fucking joke. he's just a fucking he just oh yeah, I didn't even the amount of stuff he actually wrote is trash. So Elvis fucking would have just been Tom Jones or something else. You know what I mean? Instead it was him. Fuck Elvis. Talent hack. And also, he worked for Nixon and was like the drug czar and pulled people over. The king of rock and roll? That's rock, sex, drugs, and rock and roll and a narc? Fuck that guy. Dethrone. Get the fuck out of here, Elvis. All right. He which Squires penned 6 episodes of Squires. See, on bestmanbulletin.com, this fucking background. Like, this period right here, is it a fucking star fleck? He's got to change this. He's got to make this like, I can't tell what's a period and a comma. Anyways, Squires also worked on another animated series, Final Space, of which he wrote 14 episodes. However, his most notable project is the Marvel's WandaVision. So people like WandaVision. Therefore, he's a good writer, which he worked on as a staff writer, leading to credits on 9 episodes of the hit Marvel Studio series. So far, this is an interesting bunch of people. The 6th episode of The Acolyte has been penned by Jason McAuliffe, who wrote the 2nd episode of the series, and is joined by Jocelyn Bio. Fuck, these people have Star Wars. Did they get the job because they got Star Wars names? Like, oh yeah, oh look, we got Bambi Johnson. No, that ain't a Star Wars name. Fucking fire her. Anyways, Bioa's most notable writing credits include an episode of Russian Doll, the series created by the Acolyte creator Leslie Headland, along with an episode of the Hulu series Tiny Beautiful Things, led by Catherine Hahn. So, all right, episode 7 of the Acolyte has been written by 3 individuals. The first of the series, and includes 2. And one thing to note is that this series has a writer's room. So all of these people are hashing this shit out. 2 things. Yes, fuck the police. Listen to Mudhoney's Hate the Police. If you haven't heard it, it's a cover. It's really fucking good. Conceived my son to it. That's a fact, Jack. Also, yes, and Elvis is the 1960s Steven Seagal. No need to fight you, Rob. You are 100% correct. That is the best fucking analogy I've ever heard for Elvis in my whole entire life. Whereas John Lennon, Van Damme. That's what I say. Episode 7 of that Acolyte was written by 3 individuals. Jen Richards, okay, who also is an actress, wrote a single episode of the TV series Threads. But Richards' most notable and critically acclaimed work comes in the form of a short film, There You Are, and the TV series Her Story. Her Story? I'm joking. The final episode of The Acolyte's first season, episode 8, is written by a series regular, Jason McAuliffe, who outside of Headland, who will be credited on each episode as a creator, has the most single writing credits of the series, with McAuliffe penning 3 episodes. At this time, it is currently unknown as to when The Acolyte is due to be released. Outside of 2024, previously I reported, me, Jason Ward, not Bestman Bulletin. Oh, no, sorry, Bestman Bulletin. I'm reading his words. That I had heard that the series was looking to release sometime in the second quarter of next year, with my belief being May. However, as mentioned in a separate article that followed months later, I heard that the series is likely to suffer a delay, as was Skeleton Crew and the second season of Andor, due to the WGA and SAG after strike. Currently, only SAG is still striking. Nobody has mentioned this window to me. This is merely my own speculation. But I could see the series releasing in August simply due to Lucasfilm seemingly liking that release window, as Ahsoka released there this year. And Andor Season 1 was originally due to release in August last year before slipping to September. Remember, Andor was supposed to release between that Game of Thrones, Houses of the Dragon, or whatever house. I can't remember the title of the fucking show. House of the Dragon, Houses of the Dragon, fucking Dragon School. I don't know. And then the other one, that Lord of the Rings one that was super boring, but looked beautiful. As I mentioned on various podcasts and live streams, he means my fucking show, Various. You want me to come on my show, you fucking loser. What are you doing? Fucking, I'm gonna fight this guy today. I'm gonna unfriend him in Fortnite and hunt him. That's what I'm gonna do today. I'm kidding. I have heard that Lucasfilm are very confident in the series and see it as one of their tentpole releases of next year. Yes, and this guy she didn't come on my show today, so I'm going to verbally abuse him. He didn't. Yeah, I hear that. I took that same thing in conversations, and everyone agrees with what he is saying here. I don't have a source who disagrees with this right now in Disney. Okay, so not trying to co-opt his story. This is his word, but I can say it is true. I believe it to be true. The Acolyte, which is set during the High Republic era, follows a former Padawan and her Jedi Master as they investigate a series of crimes. So, like, a Sith Lord has a parking, is parking illegally. Another Sith Lord, what are they doing? Probably like freebooting intergalactic cable, like, because they still use cable in Star Wars because they do that like future old timey thing, So they still use cable in Star Wars. But he encounters a force more sinister than what they've imagined. The series stars Amandla Stenberg, bodies, as the lead, as well as Lee Jung-jae's Squid Game, Daphne Keane, His Dark Materials, Manny Jacinto, The Good Place, Joni Turner-Smith, After Yang, Charlie Bennett, Russian Doll, Rebecca Henderson, Inventing Anna, Dean Charles Chapman, 1917, Carrie Ann Moss, The Matrix, and Margarita Levia, Daredevil, Born Again. And then, as always, you can support Mr. Bespin on, on Coffee and Patreon if you want to. And I thank you for the support as always, Quentin. Quentin gave a $4.99 super chat. He's also a channel member, which is great. Thank you for that too, dude. I appreciate it. And he says that Rob smells. I'm in full fucking I'm gonna be honest with you right now. I've never smelled Rob. And so I cannot confirm or deny this report, but we will add it to the record. Thank you, Quentin. I appreciate it. And then, what is it? Filoni has endurance. Oh, no. Rob smells like Slim Jims. Okay, that seems fair. But yeah, I think that the Chuds are going to end up coming out against this one because, they've already, like, tried to make it seem like Acolyte was never filmed for some reason. That was this weird, let's just use chaos magic, which is, I'm just going to say it and will it into existence and give a cum sacrifice into a paper towel and light it on fire, and therefore it's going to be true. But that's not how the world really works. That's just some bullshit somebody made up and idiots believe it. And so they were trying to make that into a thing. Then they said it owed its back taxes and it never, because there was like a fucking thing. And they weren't even due yet. It was like they had to pay the tax. They weren't even late on it. There's fucking Disney. They're not going to have a problem paying their fucking taxes to a country who gives them insane tax breaks, They also said that Leslie Headland was Weinstein's assistant. Therefore, they're trying to make her like that, Epstein Island kind of situation is what they're trying to make it sound like, which is just ridiculous. Everybody in Hollywood worked for Weinstein. I mean, everybody. So, stupid analogy. And also, I would say even irresponsible because who knows if she was a victim of something with that in that situation. We just don't know, so let's just stay out of that one. And what else? They just say a bunch of ridiculous stuff. Leslie Headland a while ago though was like, yeah, like the writer's room that she was assembling was immensely diverse. I'm not saying they were getting like Ron Swanson, who's going to go on to the writing thing and be a neoliberal right winger who's just like talking about small government in his episode. I'm not saying that happened. I'm not saying they went that far, but there were voices on there who were like, yeah, is this about the human experience? on a lot of it. I think that was more of the angle that they were going for. There's a trans writer, there's non-trans writer, but once again, I think this show is going to set them off. Probably, they're gonna go just full fucking idiot. And when the show comes out, it's so good. That's the thing about these like Disney shows is and we're I mean the actual like South Park critique that happened like a week or two ago, put a woman and make her gay and make it lame, is funny. It's definitely funny, and it's obviously like for the joke a bit overblown, and both sides of it were both mad, and both sides of that thing were both thought they weren't being talked about, which I thought was actually pretty funny as well, because there's stuff to laugh at on about every perspective in the quote culture war. And I couldn't give two shits about the culture war, because my whole thing with culture wars is this: like in the United States specifically, by the time the right wingers are mad about something and wanting to conserve this past, it's already slipped through their fingers. It's too late. You know, you don't want a black stormtrooper. It already fucking happened. You know what I mean? You don't want to lead a woman as the lead of Star Wars. It's already happened. You don't want this. You don't want that. It's always after it's already happened. That's like my take. That's why ultimately it's all just a fucking like, it just makes everybody's experience worse. So that's why I'm just like, you know what? I mean, you need to be a little bit more proactive. I don't want you to be, but if you wanted to be, you know what I mean? That's so. Yeah, but that's like the whole thing. Exalted patriarch. Move over to the move over to the Warhammer universe. I don't even know what that fucking is, bud. Star Wars is not worth fighting for. Yes, it is, but nobody needs to fight for Star Wars. What does that even mean? Like, once again, that's culture war kind of fucking rhetoric. This already happened. If you think there's something to fight for, the fight's already lost. Star Wars is chick. I don't know. I mean my mom's a chick, so I like them. Gay and lame, and yeah. Then I don't know, why are you on a Star Wars show, buddy? I mean that's a weird place for you to be. You want to salad the hut? Already happened. Exactly. I mean that's where we are with all of this stuff. And let's see, what's this right here? Hey, what, Fall Guy? Fall Guy, what? Official trailer? Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt star in the first trailer for David Leitch's The Fall Guy. Oh, rad. When I was like a little kid, I fucking loved The Fall Guy. It was a show with the guy who played the $6 Million Man, I think that's what he was, like Lee Majors. And he was like a stunt man by day. But by night, he hung out with a hot chick and his cool best friend. They had like a truck, and they went around solving crimes in Los Angeles. It's pretty fucking badass. And they're making it into a movie with Ryan Gosling. And I'm pretty excited about it. If it leans into its eccentricities, it'll be fun, But yeah, Felonious D, that happened. It's already canon. Oh, there's a new Planet of the Apes trailer today? What's the deal with that? What's the deal with Planet of the the Planet of the Apes one? Is it in the series that we've had for the last couple of years, or is it a new thing? But yeah, it's all Cascading is all Fall Guy was awesome. Yeah, it was like one of the cooler shows. Like I remember I used to watch Fall Guy, Knight Rider, Nighthawk, which I think Nighthawk the one with the motorcycle. Yeah, there was like everything was about a guy in a vehicle solving crimes, like when we were little kids. And then there was the A-Team, obviously, and they just had like a cool van because there was a bunch of dudes, But yeah, you had the Heather Thomas poster on the wall. Was that the Fall Guy chick's name? Oh yeah, she was hot. I remember as a kid, I was like, that's a lady. And strangely, when I grew up, I'm all about brunettes, but when I was a kid, I was all about the blondes. I was like, TJ Hooker. God, a few years ago, like 2019, I posted this picture of Star Trek people in full uniforms at Galaxy's Edge. I blurred their faces out because wasn't like trying to like humiliate them. It was like a joke. And then William Shatner retweeted it and started talking shit. And I was just like, man, I wish my grandparents had lived long enough to see me get burned by T.J. Hooker. I didn't give him the Captain Kirk. I gave him the T.J. Hooker. Sketchcraft says Heather Thomas was on a lame Animal House knockoff TV series that lasted one episode. The set of that episode was used as the set for the Facts of Life. Oh shit, really? That's weird. An Animal House TV series? Like the idea of even doing that, you know, like why would you even try? But I wonder, if we're gonna get, are we gonna get Tom on? Where is this Tom? Where's Tom at? I think Tom must have stage fright. So the new Planet of the Apes movie, okay, Cascadian says, yeah, the new Planet of the Apes movie film kicks off a brand new trilogy of films that is a continuation of the last three. Okay, cool. Yeah, those last three films are really great. I really like them for Planet of the Apes. Like, I'm actually a fan of the original ones too. I own them all. I watch them all, but they're like the original ones obviously get a bit Star Trek-y / Twilight Zone-esque. And I enjoyed them for what they are and as crazy as they get. But yeah, the Saberspit says Heather Locklear was a babe. Yeah, who was was it Heather Locklear in Swamp Thing? I remember being like a little kid, and I'm watching. I think was it Swamp Thing? God, what was it? It was something like that. And then I'm like looking at the chick, and my mom sees me. And she's all like, oh, is that the kind of wife you're going to get? And I was like, and then all of a sudden I realized, oh my God, I got to get a wife someday. And then I was like, I'm thinking about it. I'm like, is it Heather Locklear? Is it Carrie Fisher? I got to make up my mind, you know? I'm trying to figure it out. So, Animal House and Blazing Saddles are my all-time favorite movies. You could never have those films made in this day and age. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, not exactly in that way for sure. But I mean, like, there are people that obviously don't overlook the facetiousness of some things in those movies. But yeah, those movies are fucking great. They're fantastic for sure. So, Baymax says, to Melvin's credit, he called KP out, but nobody else said a word. They seem to have unwritten rule to never call out bullshit. When it rarely happens, it's because big fractures like the Doomcock kennel drama. So I don't really know anything about that shit at all. I just know that dudes that hide behind masks are little bitches. Little KKK style fucking bitches. That's all I know. Show your face or shut the fuck up. Be a man, you fucking coward. Quentin says Carrie is the best. Yeah, Carrie is the best. And then, okay, Cascade says, I loved watching Swamp Thing with your mom as a coming of age story for you. Brilliant. Yeah, it was, dude. I was like, man, yeah, Heather Locklear. This is kind of a jam, you know? I'm kind of about it, but yeah. What happened to her? Did she just like get her cash and fucking bounce? Or did she like get fucking like run over by the 18 band in the 80s or something? And I don't know about it. But yeah, so when it comes to the let me see if there's anything in the chat. Oh, Thomas says he can't. He has a meeting. I already missed that. I missed that part. So Tom is never coming. Tom, what the hell, Tom? Cancel the meeting, dude. But yeah, Davy Jones and the Monkees. But anyways, yeah. So this writing, she married Bon Jovi. Oh, that sucks. Bon Jovi fucking sucks. That's just a fact. You know, I like Blaze of Glory. I like the Young Guns 2 single. I'll give him that. I will give it to him. But you play Bad Medicine in front of me. If I've been drinking, I'm gonna start tearing the posters off your walls and shit. It's gonna go down. No way I'm gonna fucking listen to any of that shit. How do you know all this random shit? Who, Rob? Or me? Or all of us? I think all of us just know a bunch of random shit. We're all a bunch of useless monkeys. Heather Locklear was back underground after being was back underground after being a wife. All right. So don't expect don't expect Heather Locklear to show up in our Star Wars is what's going on. Good news, guys, says Baymax. Deno Nerd says Ahsoka 2 is greenly and filming in Pinewood. People reached out to him. Trust me, bro. When it comes to like, I have no fucking idea about any of that bullshit. True or not true or anything like that. The one thing that I will say, nobody knows what's actually going on or when things are going to be filming. So the good news is that if he does have that info, he likely has a source right at the top, and we'll have all of the scoops on Ahsoka too. But now let's just think about it for a second. Let's just look at what that would mean, because it's slow news day. We got the time to entertain some maybe bullshit, maybe not. Probably bullshit, in my opinion. Probably inaccurate, in my opinion. Because, for starters, everybody I know in Los Angeles it's all about Mando. And that includes Dave Filoni. Mando, if they were to do Ahsoka in another country at this point right now, it's not filming for over a year. This isn't what I want. This is what is. So it's at least a year away from filming. If they were to do that. That would also require the staff. That would also, so that would require them to send the staff over who are supposed to be making the LA productions to the UK. Well, they're not going to do that. It would double the budget to take a bunch of people from Los Angeles and send them over. So, could I see a scenario where Dave Filoni is going to be making his movie at Pinewood Studios? Therefore, they're going to try to acclimate him to a British crew. Could I see that? Yeah, I could see that, but I think it's probably unlikely. This is just my opinion right now, based off of the information that we got. So, what that would mean, though, is that it would literally fuck with everything in Los Angeles if they did that. I would probably go with it being more likely that they would film Filoni's film in Los Angeles as to not fuck with all of that stuff. You know what I mean? Truchilla says, "It's my time to shine a proven source. I've heard the name mentioned on here before, but forgot the context. I think that's who the Ahsoka 2 at Pinewood rumor came from." So I'm going to be completely fair to my time to shine. Okay? They came to me a while ago with something that I had as a scoop, and they added something to that scoop. Nothing that I used or anything like that, but just like, let's just say the person was like wearing what the color of the outfit or something, okay? And it was on. So right there, I definitely know that if they had a source who was related to the Andor series, okay? But then they said a lot of other stuff that completely was a fabrication. They took one of my reports and then inflated it, made it into a Star Wars multiverse, all kinds of shit, just wild stuff. So, but when you look at what My Time to Shine's thing has been, it was NFTs, and now it's about getting interaction on Twitter to get paid. So with My Time to Shine, I can definitely say that if they had somebody from Andor won. Yes. So, but at the same time, based off of what I know about what's up with Pinewood right now, I still cannot make that interface with what I know about Pinewood in the coming future. And so I highly doubt it. Just to be honest with you guys. And as always, I'll never go out and say, fucking, I can't know everything. It's like, how do you know what you don't know, right? I don't know what I don't know. But that part getting out already, without the Ray film even having a schedule at the moment. Do you see where I'm going with this? Do you see why it's where the problems lie? You have important stages, crucial stages. Now it's the same company. They'll make their shit work out for itself. They're not going to fight over it. Obviously, they would make it work for them. But you're going to be making a Ray the Ray film, and if we take their schedule in any way serious, there would be overlap how there was with The Force Awakens and Rogue One, and then Rogue One with The Last Jedi, and then with The Last Jedi and Solo. You see how it kind of works? I know a lot about that era specifically, and getting stage space and access like worked out about when and stuff like that. That right there is why there's always a chance that they could try to figure it out early, but highly fucking doubt it, because I got really good Pinewood sources, as my track record shows, and they don't. Even the people who knew about the Del Toro film are like shrugging the shoulders on this one right now. So, as I said, just to be one last time, because I mean, how do I know what I don't know? I don't know everything. I don't pretend to be the guy who knows every single thing that ever goes on at all. I report what I know, and right now I've dug into it and I got nothing to report on it. So doesn't mean it's not true, but if you wanted to like categorize that story as confident, likely, or unlikely, it's definitely in the fucking unlikely category. And I know other people in the scoop business, so to speak, who have also looked into it and come back with I don't think so. And the other side of it too is you would think Filoni would be taking some certain key members with him to make his films and to make the Ahsoka series, and I don't think that's happening. So I know some of those people, and yeah. So it is what it is. You know what I mean? What? Kevin Feige. Darth Fernando says, "My time to shine. Hello is actually a great scooper. Even Josh from Dead and Nerds has theorized she is actually Kevin Feige." Oh, well, if Josh says so, it must be true. Okay. No. Bespin says, "My time to shine is not a good source in my own opinion. If the content made by a person doesn't make it to the show and my site, then Jason and I consider it not reputable." Yeah, I mean, like I said, I got that one little anecdote with My Time to Shine where I knew that they did know. It was, what's his name? It was the guy who played Snoke, that he was an Andor. And I had that, and then I remember it was weird. It was like Grace Randolph tweeted something about it at me and then deleted the tweet, and then My Time to Shine started messaging me about it. Sketchcraft says, "Over under, how much will Spreezy spend on the hot mic today?" No, don't just give me your money and I'll tell you what you want to hear. Will says, "My Time to Shine might have better MCU sources than Lucasfilm ones." Yeah, I will say that a friend of mine who used to do a podcast with me became like a Marvel scooper, and it's just weird how those things don't, like, being good at one doesn't mean you know the other stuff. Like, and I would even say like, and Bespin, like he gets stuff about like the schedules and stuff, right? More, and so he could probably like dab his toe in there more than anybody else I've ever known. But it's just it's two different like companies. It's just such a whole different animal. Um, Bassman says most of my sources at Pinewood aren't even working because of the strike. Obviously, they've had to take part-time jobs. Some are working in retail. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, yeah. That's it. Isn't good. I some of my sources have had to do some funny things, but let's not even talk about it. But Josh must be kidding. I don't know. Josh, Jason, no, I'm not versusing anybody. If you put out a story though, and it seems like it, thing, I'll analyze it like I'll analyze anything else. Jake said she used to be really good, but she's been lying, stealing everything lately. I honestly did kind of feel like she took my stuff and made it sexier, and obviously it was my stuff. Obviously she knows who I am. Obviously she follows me and knows who the thing is, and acted like it was all hers. And so if it wasn't my time to shine, scoop, and I would cite her, but whatever. Sketchcraft says breaking news: the floating movies are already dodging their taxes like the Acolyte. No, he's a white dude in a cowboy hat, buddy. He pays his taxes. In fact, he doesn't pay his taxes. He lives in a state where there are no taxes, no income tax, no state taxes. So don't worry, he's good. Sketchcraft says something's got to pay for Filoni's gummy worm. Yeah. Bespin says everything I've ever told you about Marvel, DC, or whatever pans out. It does. It does. It's been funny watching the Marvel schedule come out over time, months after I told you what it was. Yeah, it's true. That is 100% true. And it's it's like that right there though. Just in my years of being in these circles, that's entirely like you're an honest person. You're an honest scooper. You usually, you say what you think and what, you don't usually step too far out from where your sources are telling you that. I can't even think of a time you have. But there seems to be this thing, oh, somebody knew this about Aquaman, therefore they know something, and it's just like, how do you explain to people? These things have nothing to do with anything else. It's like, I don't know. It's like knowing what the secret sauce is at In and Out doesn't mean you know what the secret sauce is at Cane's Chicken. It's even if they were owned by the same people, it's just like such a different thing. But we do see that like with the scheduling right there, that's the little Venn diagram overlap, So, oh yeah, no, I would definitely throw sand in the eyes and win. That's how I fight dirty. Rick Jones says, it will suck for Dave to have to move to England, but will he follow hockey? Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, like I was saying, like, I kind of don't, and based off of some other conversations, I don't expect it to film there. I expect that Filoni Star Wars film is going to film in Los Angeles for the most part. But I would say what I would once again, I think I'm making the scoop better than it is, okay, in reality or whatever. But is there a chance that they could go over to Pinewood and film on a stage, like on a for some reason because they need a big I don't think it's economically feasible, but could they have a reason because they're gonna like save that for the movie or something? Like, yeah, but it's just so the amount of fucking like mental gymnastics we have to do. I just like the Occam's razor this shit usually, and say no, probably not. Rebecca asks, is Mando 4 going to film after the strikes are over? I have heard a couple of tentative ideas for what they're kind of saying get ready for, but I don't know how firm that is at the moment. So yeah, after the strikes are over, Mando 4 will film, but you won't see Mando 4 in 2024. And I don't. So point being, um, I think they can do a Mando turnover classically in like 8 months an episode maybe for the start, for the first one from filming. So if it was just asking my opinion, I could see Mando filming in like April and then not hitting until sometime in 2025. That's not a scoop. That's just my analysis. Okay, you know what I mean. Just to be like clear, person on Reddit. Bestman says somebody mentioned Disney having a deal with Pinewood. True, but Disney isn't Star Wars, and Pinewood isn't exclusive to Disney. Very true. One of the things I had to contend with in the sequel trilogy era was like they were filming this like fucking like shitty Peter Pan movie, and as you guys know, in Star Wars code names and stuff like pirates is used, and then like there's this pirate stuff, and we're like, oh gee, and then I'm getting pictures like there are people like I don't know if this is Star Wars. Like I had some sources that were also just very random sources. They're like, is this is this whatever, you know what I mean, and stuff like that, and it's like, well, yeah, and then Bestman says Mando 4 was always early 2025, even when it was due to film in October. It's now just later in 2025. So, yeah, it's true. Very true. Yeah, Matt Tuween says Pinewood is Bond and much more. Yes, yes, and it's kind of funny because people in the filmmaking industry oftentimes seem to love Bond more than Star Wars. You know, sources and non-sources who have worked on it and stuff. I mean, I've had people who aren't sources who worked on the Star Wars movies who I've just like socialized with and met, for drinks and stuff. Not sources, and they're just like they're gushing about Bond the whole time, and it's just like yeah, it's a whole different thing entirely. Matt Tween goes on to ask, "What's the new release for Andor season 2?" Based off of the Bespin Bulletin information, it sounds like Andor would be our second 2024 series. Nobody really knows. Right now, I don't believe a scooper actually knows with concrete because things are still a bit fluid. At least it's been almost a month, so maybe it is now. But it does sound like Andor is likely to be second of the second show of 2024. And so, I mean, or sorry, we would also have Skeleton Crew. So Andor would likely be the one that would be in 2025 at this point. Hold on, sorry, I just saw Bespin say it. No, Andor wasn't the second one. It was releasing the latest. Okay, and with Andor, this is just another pet theory of mine that I've had, the marbles in my head clinking around. Tony Gilroy had to bounce, and after listening to a lot of interviews with him, my impression of Tony Gilroy is that he's, while very much a team player, he sounds like a perfectionist. And so maybe they worked every little nuance out, and when he had to bounce, they already had everything working. But judging by the fact that he was literally called out by another writer and then quit the very next day, show running Andor, makes me think that that's not the case. And so there's a chance Gilroy saw what they did and said, okay, yeah, oh, interesting, and preferred it. It's possible. Also a chance that it didn't go how he wanted, and he's like, oh, we got to do all these reshoots. And if Disney complies and goes with it, then there might be a lot of reshoots for Andor. We know they had a few weeks left to film. Bestman, why don't you just on the show, Bestman? God damn it, it's easier to fucking just talk to you. Bestman says Andor 2 had 2 weeks left to film. However, since it's been shut down, there's a chance he's done rewrites since the WGA strike ended, and it'll take longer to film. Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, he could have rewritten, but also what he did write, they may not have brought to screen with the nuance that he intended as well. So it's definitely a weird place for it, you know. So I don't know how that story's gonna pan out, you know, in the end. And I haven't heard anything about them scheduling anything out because they don't have the actors yet. Send the link. I already sent you the link. Wake up, get up, Bespin. Rise and shine, buddy. I sent you the link first thing in the morning. First thing. But yeah. Chris Breezy is claiming to know Andor Season 2's trailer release date, but too early for me to announce it. Laugh out loud. Oh, fuck off, Chris Breezy. Say it, don't spray it. But I don't know why there would be a Season 2 trailer release date when the show's not even done. They don't have a time that they're going to put it out yet. So I don't know, man. I don't know why that doesn't make a lot of sense to me either. I love you, Chris, but I got to call out on that one too. I'm not sure about that. Yeah. Baymax says, I got the Andor trailer from Celebration. Yeah, there is the Andor trailer from Celebration. I mean, there is always a chance that they do one of those stupid Disney Plus days or something like that, and on that day they drop a bunch of the Celebration trailers just because they're already out, you know. And honestly, I hope that they do a better job than those trailers. Well, who's this guy?
You said my name too many times.
I know, man. What are you doing? You watching football or something?
I texted you. I said I had family over.
Oh, you have family over. Well, bring him on. What's Mom's opinion on Acolyte, on the writers?
Yeah, it's not that family. It's not that side of the family.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, anyways, what's on your mind with the story that you wrote today on the writers? What's the best bin take we don't get from the article? Is there one, or did you have it? Because your article was pretty just like, here's the facts, pretty factual. What's your opinion on it?
I think you see a lot of connections to like other writers. So, for example, I think the Metcalf guy, whoever his name was, I'm pretty sure he was involved in the Lindelof writers' room.
Yeah.
For the Rey movie.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously he's there, and obviously there's a female writer that worked with him as a PA. It's a writer's PA on his series Heathers.
Okay.
Once again, you've seen a lot of the Netflix connections, as we've noticed over the last few years.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people on there that's done very random Netflix shows, not even like the high profile ones. And then
one of the main Disney VPs, Gupta, I think is her last name,
came from Netflix.
Came from Netflix, and people obviously usually tend to overlook that. There's a very crucial, obviously.
Well, Headland itself comes from Netflix.
Russian.
You know, so
Netflix show.
So again, you've seen a lot of connections to these other things. So like Headland, I think she has directors on board that directed on Russian Doll. There's obviously a writer on board that was part of that show as well. One thing I've noticed is that it seems they seem to be putting a less established writer alongside a more experienced writer in each of the episodes.
Okay. Yeah.
So you might have somebody who only has like 2 or 3 credits to the name, and they're not high profile like projects or critically acclaimed projects. Mm-hmm. They're alongside somebody who's done like Watchmen or House of the Dragon or Mr. Robot or something. Yeah. You know, so I think that there's probably experience for both of those writers and to bolster the quality of the episode. Headland herself, I think it's interesting that she only wrote the first one. Like, she will be credited as a writer on all of them just because she created the series. But
also she's also said it's an actual writer's room.
Oh yeah.
So 100%. So they did it all. They talked about every single nuance of every episode together at a big table, fought it out probably at times, and and helped each other. And then and obviously, so I would imagine you have like your creative lead, and then you have your junior, your journeyman writer next to them who's probably doing a lot of the grunt work.
Yeah, so I think that's interesting to see all the connections, because even when you look at like Ahsoka, you had Jita, like she directed an episode.
Yeah.
Did she maybe write one as well? Can't remember if she wrote on it.
On Ahsoka, I think it wasn't it all Filoni, or am I misremembering?
Maybe, yeah. Like, but she was obviously tied to the House of the Dragon stuff. And you go House of the Dragons, people again here. There's
Yeah.
two of them from House of the Dragon is on this series, and there was obviously a person on it for Ahsoka. So I think there's again they're pulling from the same places.
Yeah.
You're seeing all the connections that people have come into play. You're seeing all the Netflix connections. You're seeing the House of the Dragon. You're seeing it's like Andor, Doctor Who. Everybody on that show fucking worked on Doctor Who. They all knew each other, essentially. You know, the directors. So, yeah.
Baymax says, my biggest fear for Acolyte is that it will look like Willow. Those leaked pics of the Jedi in Wales screamed Willow.
I mean, it's literally the same place as Willow.
It's literally the same place. Saying that the Acolyte celebration trailer did look posh, not dog shit. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like in terms of like Wales itself as like a film location, to me, it looks exotic to me. We don't have shit like a place like that. Like that's the stuff I actually liked. I mean, I don't like the Willow was shot poorly too, on top of everything else.
Yeah, you've got more talented directors, in my opinion, on board of this, and cinematographers.
Yes.
So, and in all honesty, more talented actors.
Yeah.
But Wales, like, I don't know. As a filming location, like they've used it for like things like that before, and like Jurassic Park had a quick shot in the similar place in the Brecon Beacons. Sex Education. I don't know if you've ever watched that TV show, but like it's supposed to be set in England, but it's all like pretty much filmed in Wales.
You heard it here. Bespin is against sex education in schools.
Well, I'm telling you, the sex education I had in school was terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah, mate, you put it in the hole and you jimmy it around. Is that how it went? Is that what they sounded
Pretty
like?
much, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. But no, I think Acolyte's fine. Everything I've heard about Acolyte has always been like positive. Like anybody working on it, they were always excited. They were like, it's more of the Andor, like in terms of budget, in terms of how they're going about it in their production and how it's being written, rather than Mando or Boba Fett or something.
It sounds to me like it's trying to do. You know how like most people grow up and then they get married and boring, and then they watch like police shows together. It almost sounds like they're trying to do their version of a awesome. Like, how do you Star Warsify that and make it awesome? I think that's kind of like what they're doing with the show. If they should pull that off, I mean, I think it would be wildly successful, because everything is an amalgamation of genre today. That's what everything. I mean, that's why we're in this multiverse place as well with everything. Everything's about that mashup, and so yeah, if it does go that way, I mean, because the actual write up of it, if you notice, is very similar to what they were doing with Andor. Mystery thriller, but or spy thriller and mystery thriller. Both are
they're trying to sell you on the
genre. That's the thriller genre of Star Wars.
Yeah, with the Mandalorian and whatnot, they don't try and sell you on the genre of it. They just try and sell you on the look and on the characters. Yeah. But with Andor and with the Acolyte, they are trying to sell you on the tone and the genre and all those involved. Like anytime it's mentioned, the Acolyte's always led with the Leslie Headland series, just because of obviously what she did with Russian Doll.
Yeah. Yeah. It's what people know, so they just try to go with what's familiar.
Yeah. You don't really see people.
But it's a thriller.
You'll see it in articles, but you don't really see it like as a headline, like High Republic era series, The Acolyte. Nobody knows what that means. They're not pushing this era on people. They're not pushing this new time period on people.
I actually, it says the High Republic era in the thing, and I'm like, you know what? You guys should just say 200 years before the Phantom Menace, or 50 years.
Which is what they were saying originally.
It's what they should continue to say, I think. And then if they wanted to put High Republic in parentheses or something, by all means, do it. But Yeah, I mean, because it's to me, it feels like a marketing agenda within our marketing agenda that never
Hmm.
is a good idea. I think you don't inception your marketing. You know what I mean? I don't think so, anyways. But yeah, Baymax says, "Well, such education as Tom Jones saying, not in there, boyo."
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, but
Like he had a
yeah,
song called "What's New Pussycat." You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, Rivers Cuomo of Weezer wrote a song for Tom Jones called "Hot Tub." I saw him
right.
play it once in a party. He had made another band called Homie, and then it became a Homie song. But it was,
My my grandfather, I think, like once, like, so this is weird because on opposite, I hate this because it makes it sound like everybody in Wales fucking knows each other. But
you
like,
guys do. There's only like five of
yeah,
you in the whole country. Yeah,
yeah,
and all of you were in Willow, the
and we're all
original movie
outnumbered, but
and the TV show.
and we're outnumbered by sheep. But
Yeah,
yeah.
you're
So
overlords. Yeah.
like, on my one side of my family, my grandfather used to drive Tom Jones around,
Really?
yeah, for like a brief time, and
Yeah.
then my on my other side, he tried to like get with my grandmother like on a dance floor one time.
Tom Jones.
Yeah.
So that there's a really good chance Tom Jones has your grandma's panties somewhere.
I mean, I'm like slightly hoping he's a long-lost grandfather and I can inherit some money. You know?
That was the thing with Tom Jones, in case people don't know, is that women would throw their panties at him.
Mm,
That was his claim to fame, which is not a bad one. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, it's kind of
yeah.
gross, but not a
I
bad
don't
one to
like his
have.
music, but like, you know.
Hmm.
I think Americans mostly probably know Tom Jones for like the fucking Carlton dance, right?
Yeah, yeah. I would say so. I remember in the '90s he released a record, and I think it was like a record of covers,
Mm,
and it kind of became like he kind of became like popular in a ironic way. You know what I mean?
right.
Like kind of
Yeah.
thing. So Jonesy says it's kind of an explanation of how the Sith infiltrated the Jedi. Actress Daphne Keane told Tech Radar, "It's a Sith-led story, which has never been done before. Does this smell like Darth Plagueis?" And so, like, when I think of a thriller, structurally, um, could Darth Plagueis be a reveal? Yes, but also if that's what's making you want to take off your panties and throw them at Tom Jones, um, it's probably won't happen in the first episode. It's likely to be like the season finale reveal if it does happen. Like it's a mystery thriller, therefore, and it's very specific in its write up that it's a series of crimes. So I think we should expect Crime 1 to take place over 3 episodes, Crime 2 over another 3, and both of those crimes have, and then that leads to the bigger, to the top. You know what I mean?
At
Kind
least
of
to the
structure.
reveal at the end of the series. And,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. And the show has a series Bible. The show has a writer's room. There is no reality where they went and developed this show with the intention of it being one season. Doesn't mean it will be multiple seasons. Doesn't mean they'll follow through on the plan, but they definitely intend. There's just nobody does that kind of development for a one season of a show. They would just have Leslie Headland do the whole thing
They
at her
did it
own
when they
pace.
first greenlit Andor as well. Do you remember? It was like it's
Mm-hmm.
weird. It was like the Zootopia guy who wrote like the Bible on Andor
Yeah.
when it was gonna be show run by Stephen Schiff for the first
Yes.
season
Right.
before Gilroy came in. So like even with Andor, and we know early on that they wanted 5 seasons of Andor, which obviously due to the amount of money and the people watching, like that's not feasible.
Yeah.
You know, to push that amount of content. And we know like during production it went from 5 to 3, and then post production as the series was released, and it got like shuffled down to 2 again. You
Right.
know, and now we're
Right.
doing. I think you see the vision that was there, like because we're getting a new year every 3 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been following seasons essentially, but they're taking the biggest beats likely from those plans and
Mm-hmm.
shoving it into one episode.
Right.
Well, one season, sorry.
Yeah. which in terms of expedited storytelling might be better.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of
Rob's
the
like
great thing about
comment, I just gotta give him props because it's very rare that Rob is ever funny. Space Whales is funny. That is
space
funny.
whales, literally, yeah, space whales. Yeah, but also worth noting that in that Willow, the series, not the film, the great film Willow, but the bad series Willow, um, wasn't really doing like the whole Pinewood and Wales thing together either.
Mm-mm.
You know what I mean? They were filming at Dragon Studios and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. Like it wasn't as you know,
They filmed like at a place that is primarily used for Doctor Who.
yes, using a lot of Doctor Who people as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, so Baymax, I wouldn't worry about. Baymax is a pretty reasonable guy, so I know he wasn't like, oh my god, I'm freaked out, you know. But
No,
I wouldn't worry about that unless you start to see something that makes you go, that's what it is.
even if
filmed
you
at
just look at like
Pinewood.
these guys have traversed around Europe like filming stuff.
Yes.
They have spent money and got to like more exotic looking locations. Security there has been really tight. They've taken it deadly serious.
Yeah.
You know, and like they have the brand new Stadios facilities in Shinfield. You know, and they've been working there and going to Pinewood. Shinfield was the big base of operations. That's where most of the interior work was done. You know, and then like in Wales, they didn't like Willow stayed around the same few places. They did expand. It's just the photos that came out, that was literally where Willow filmed. The Brecon Beacons National Park. If anybody wants to go there and get lost because there's no phone signal or get chased by some fucking porn stars looking dude on a buggy, be my guest.
And you got to be built for it, and you're not. So get the fuck out of here.
I ain't built for it. No.
Yeah, and that was another comment I wanted to make about the earlier thing. I just might slip my mind. Is that I believe if they were going to film Ahsoka season 2 in the UK, it would likely film at Shinfield. There's also another studio that his name I don't want to say, but where they filmed stuff for the sequel trilogy as well. And I would say that would be another very likely candidate. Also immensely cheaper than Pinewood itself. And so if I were going to lie or co-opt a story today, that's what I would do with it. I'd be like, it's going to go to Shinfield and this other location.
Like Disney had investment in Shinfield as well.
Disney, yeah, I think Disney's gonna I think Disney probably investment is all the way up to just allowing it to still seem like it's a British company. You know what I mean?
Like
for the tax
at Shinfield as well. Like they aren't even operating at half the capacity of stages. Like I think they'll all be fully available by the end of 2024. So there will be a lot more room if they do want to bring over like more of the Star Wars shows. But I don't see why they would leave LA. I don't see why Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni and the rest of them would move that stuff, even for continuity reasons. You know, like all those shows have a similar look and feel amongst them.
Right.
Going and making it then look like a version of Andor, though, like us, I think fans would like much prefer it. We'd much prefer like a more pristine, higher budget looking show.
Yeah.
They wouldn't do it, and Gilroy himself even said, we were lucky when we got greenlit because they were at the time streamers were just throwing like ridiculous money and just wanted content, and he got a $250 million series out of it. You know, that's not going to happen now where Bob Iger is like tightening the belt and, you know, cutting budgets and laying off staff and wherever else. So
yeah. Rural Farmboy says, I made it. Hold up. Why is Jason only in my left ear, but I hear Bespin in both? Why is Rural Farm Boy the only one to tell me this an hour and 10 minutes in? I think I fixed it now. It should sound right.
You're all a lot louder for me now. This was I didn't know. Yeah.
I was playing guitar. I'm doing an acoustic record of all my songs, and I've been making some live versions of things, and this interface will let me do a guitar on one side and a vocal on another. Then I'll probably mix it to mono at the end. You know, the videos
powered
I'm
by
making.
Tom's computer.
And then powered by Tom's computer. And also why that's not on the screen is because I was doing that. You know, where is it? I have like, you know, I got.
By the way.
Yeah, see, like I gotta put that back up. Gotta put that back up. Okay, this is the show. I got excited today, guys. I got excited. But here we go. Now I'm in stereo. So thank you, Farm Boy, for the heads up. Baymax says Belfast has studios now. Let's just make up a new rumor. Ahsoka season 2 is filming at Belfast. Why not?
Get ready for like a Scotland one. Every time there's a Star Wars movie or show being made,
Yeah,
a rumor always comes out that's going to film in Scotland, and eventually it's right. They got it right with Andor. It will eventually happen. But do you remember they were saying like George Lucas himself was helping like scout Scotland for like Kenobi, like
it's so fucking dumb. It's so fucking dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start a rumor that I saw two guys with cowboy hats in Wales, right?
Well,
it was Dave Filoni. He cast fucking Kevin Costner to like, to play to play Balin,
Well, I would say Baymax has already done way too much, brought in way too much actual real world knowledge of Hollywood for the rumor. If you're going to do it, you just got to say the last thing, because the rumors only work when people know what you're talking about. Like remember when, like, I don't know, you probably did. They were filming at Shinfield first. People probably were just like, eh.
Yeah.
But if you said it was filming at Pinewood, they'd have been like, oh, okay. So when you want to pass off dog shit, you got to go that way. You know what I mean? That's how you do it.
Yeah.
But let's not get him to do that. Matt Dewey says, imagine if Taylor Sheridan wrote a Star Wars movie or show. Honestly, based off of that last season, that last spinoff of his show, the Indiana Jones one, I wouldn't be against him writing something for an Indiana Jones series or something in that universe, to be honest. I think he would.
Well, Sheridan's work, I do think, is actually very good. Even outside of obviously Yellowstone's the biggest thing for him. Mm-hmm. It's probably the weakest of his endeavors. Like, even if you just look at his other movies. Mm-hmm. I would love for Sheridan to write a Star Wars show. A limited series, as he did for 1883 or 1923, just a limited series and see what he goes.
Yeah. Yeah, if he just took his Western, any of his favorite Western concepts of homesteading, for instance, and then just put that onto a space planet, he could easily probably write the quintessential modern cowboy Star Wars show.
Sicario.
Yes.
You did, right? Yeah.
And Donald Trump pretended that was happening in Mexico and literally stole the plot of it one time for a fake thing he made up.
Does Rob like Sicario?
I don't know.
Because Christopher McQuarrie is apparently involved with.
Oh, then yes. He probably has a Sicario back tattoo.
Okay.
Yeah. Yesterday, what you told me about Biden and that. And the AI stuff that he learned from the Christopher McQuarrie script of Mission Impossible.
AI could be, yeah.
I was just like, oh my god, I am living in idiocracy. If I have this old fucking coot or Donald Trump, those are my fucking choices. Oh my god, we're so fucking doomed. Anyways, they will. Crawling Chaos says, I could hear the ass outs already. Woke writers, woke acolyte, something Kennedy bad, needs more Adolf. Yeah, that is the thing with the South Park show is, like I said, a lot of people are but there was the moral of the South Park show of that episode was that when those idiots step it up and then attack the corporation, then the corporation is forced to react and then overcorrects. My take is that I like representation. I like seeing interesting looking people on screen. Diversity doesn't bother me. But at the same time, when it's done literally in place of, Willow is a good example. The two leads in Willow literally had no point other than that fact in the South Park critique. I think the South Park critique is actually a critique of Willow specifically. Phoebe Waller Bridge, or
I think that
she's not even a lesbian. She's not even gay in Indiana Jones. You know what I mean? It's
keep aiming more, I think, at the remakes, the Disney remakes specifically.
Yeah, yeah.
Like there's
And
been a lot of
Kennedy's
like,
not even responsible for those. She's just
no, she's just
funny
being,
about it.
well,
Yeah,
yeah, she's always the poster person, right, for like woke, or like, the force is female or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
they like, if they were gonna use an actress in it,
Hmm.
they probably would have used Brie Larson, or the Snow White chick, like Rachel Zegler or whatever, because
Yeah.
that's the new one to hate on. So,
But the Eric Cartmans on the internet are always like, get it every fucking time, like every day. Like
you never want to be Eric Cartman.
you never ever want to be Eric Cartman. No, no. And it doesn't mean that that the South Park critique isn't astute or valid. I mean, it is, and that's kind of like the problem with the last couple of years, is that you have such polarizing. Like you have your left wing nuts on Twitter, then you have your right wing nuts on YouTube, and you like put it all together, and it's just a fucking madhouse. So the conversation, the actual like the validity in each critique is just overlooked, like entirely. And yeah, Disney does obviously go too far. Disney does pander for 100%. Like I would say on the show, I don't, in my opinion, the top people at Disney are right wingers. They just are capitalists first and foremost. They will sell you anything first. You know what I mean? They will forego their politics for capital, and so it just is what it is. But at the same time, I don't know a lot about the writing staff on this Acolyte series, like the thing that that you wrote the article on today. Like I learned a lot in your article. I didn't know who most of those writers were, and I've already seen people complaining that there's a trans writer on there. Who fucking cares?
Yeah, there's a trans writer who
What
wrote
does it have to do
two
with
trans
anything?
story, like in content. She did a short film and she did a TV series.
Which do you know which writer is trans in the
Yeah, Jen Richards.
what? Sorry, say it again.
Jen Richards.
Jen Richards. Okay.
She's on the episode that had the three writers. It's one of the later ones.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like I don't know. I just I don't see with the evidence at hand. I don't see why the fucking matters. Like why it's even like why it would be a thing. Obviously, I brought it up, so I guess I'm guilty. But it's like if the episode's about that and you have a problem with it, or the episode's about that and it's interesting or it's not or whatever, then I guess it's a conversation. But up until that point, it's just like if one of the writers is Jewish, does it mean that it's a Star Wars show about being Jewish? It doesn't. It doesn't mean that. That's just you bringing shit into it. Bespin specifically, no, anybody. Just I mean that's just nothing to do with anything. So yeah, but I got faith in the Acolyte series at this time. I think everything about it sounds good. I don't think anything, in fact, I mean, our topic yesterday was about a filmmaker who's doing a Star Wars film, and there's not anything in a film he's ever done that makes me go like, give this man a Star Wars movie.
No.
Whereas on this thing, at least I could see some connective tissue where I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, you did that. I want to see what you do with Star Wars, I don't know if anybody ever saw Free Guy and said, let's see what you do with Star Wars. That's besides Kathleen fucking Kennedy, I don't think anybody else was ever saying that.
Yeah.
But we will know. We'll know pretty soon if it was good or not. So you got family over today, or are we getting on Fortnite now?
We can go on Fortnite. I just need like as soon as family left, I came on here.
All right, cool.
So I'm just gonna need like 30 minutes to eat something because that was early.
Yeah.
You guys was like 5:30 in the afternoon for us.
All right. Food break, and then because tomorrow Fortnite gets reset, right? Tomorrow's
Fortnite OG. Yeah.
Fortnite OG, and so we gotta say goodbye to the current Fortnite. Do you think at the end of the season they're gonna bring this back? Do you think we go all the way up into the current map?
We in Fortnite OG we go up until chapter 10.
Oh, okay.
Season 10, whatever it is. Like it's like as true. You lying bitch. You come on in with us.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Come on today, right now. That's it true. That's it true. Put down Battlefront 2 and come and play with us. before we go, Baymax says Cartman needs KK to make content about. The moral of South Park episode was they both made each other, kind of like Batman 89. Disney panders. YouTube laps it up to monetize pushback. What else could they make vids about? I know they'd actually have to analyze content. Jonesy says, and for the record, if I said anything today that made anybody mad, fucking eat my ass. I don't give a fuck. Fuck off. I don't care. I hate everything. I hate everybody and everyone and everything. Jonesy says, watch out, Bestman. Jason is going to unfriend you and look for you on the battlefield. Oh yeah, did you hear that part of the show?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, so watch out, watch your back, bud. Astro says, I might join you. No, Astro, you will join us. We remember in Clone Wars when Mace Windu and all the Jedi got together and they interrogated Cad Bane to get the answer. We need to do that to Astro. You will join us in Fortnite.
I mean, it doesn't take a lot to convince Astro to join us. It's Rob that's the issue.
Yeah, Rob's a bitch.
Like Astro's been on with us a few times.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's interested in Fortnite OG. That'll be cool for us, though. We're going to go through like new maps every like 3 days. So
yeah. I think Asatru should play with us every day, so that way we can do like 5 years of Fortnite with Asatru like in a row.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't even think on that first map I don't think we were playing together when the first map was out.
No, we didn't stop playing until like a couple of years ago.
I like to land up in the upper right hand side of the map where that tower was. That's actually in the ad. I like to land there because you could kill it because everybody's easy to kill who lands there. And then
we're gonna get our asses whipped tomorrow.
No,
because yesterday you had the thing of like all those guys that quit and then they came back for the OG. And me and you've been here grinding for the years every set of shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I still think we're gonna go in there like confident as all hell, and as soon as we jump out of the bus, it's dead.
You're gonna see. I'm gonna be getting I'm gonna get 20, 30 kills a match.
We're gonna get like absolutely destroyed at Tilted Towers.
Nope, at Tilted Tower. No. Actually, I can't remember what it was called. I don't mean Tilted Towers though. It's like a different one. It's like in the upper right hand corner. There's like a shop. There's like a bus there. It's in the ad though. But anyways, maybe was that? I don't think that was Tilted. I think Tilted Towers was somewhere else. But
that was more like in the center, right?
Yeah. I'm not thinking there. I'm thinking upper right hand corner of the map.
Back in those days, I used to play on my own, and I was a pussy, and then I used to sort of hide and then jump out of people and kill them. You know, these days I'm just plays them.
Astro says, I played Fortnite in the alpha and the OG map day one and hated it. Give me a live service game that has good play, Navi, Transformers, and Star Wars.
Well, you've got Transformers and Star Wars.
But Astro, the game isn't it's a completely different game than back then though. It's a whole different all of everything's changed. The mechanics have changed. Like anything that you said about day one isn't pertinent to now. It doesn't even play like the same. The mechanics are completely changed.
We have zero build now, for one.
We have zero. I know. I don't like building. I hate
building. I fucking hate building.
Yeah. So
I don't even build in real life. What do I want to fucking do in a game for?
What am I, Bob the fucking builder? No, I want to shoot things.
Nah, fuck that. I can't even put a chair leg on a fucking table, man.
I mean, I'm a white American male. Let me shoot shit. All right.
I'm a white British male. Let me stab something.
He says the good mechanics were stolen from Apex. Yeah, and the Battle Royale was stolen from PUBG, and George Lucas stole everything from everything else. Fortnite is the Star Wars of first-person shooters. Accept it. But as a true, if you want to come on, dude, by all means. If you can't come on, we understand. But you're a bitch. Anyways, I kid. Let's go and I'll eat breakfast. You'll eat dinner, and then we'll get on Fortnite, and then I got work to do after that. So, anyways, thank you to everybody for hanging out. Thank you for the super chats today and all that kind of jazz. And sorry, the show I was on one side for most of the show. I won't make that mistake again. But new computer. I blame Tom. Tom, thank you for the computer once again, but blame Tom. That's Tom's fault. We'll see everybody tomorrow. Bye. Bye, Best Ben. Thanks for hanging out with me, dude. Appreciate it.
Oh, no worries. Bye-bye.
It's the end of the show.
Come on, let's go. Hey! It's the end of the show. Come on, let's go. Hey! It's the end of the show. Come on, let's go. Hey! You know you should go. Come on, let's go. It's not about spaceships. relationships.